For a long time I kept my cutters in this case, but it was not very convenient. So I decided to make a wooden box for them. In this video I will show how I made a wooden box for cutters from plywood, from marking out to the finished result. I started as always with a drawing. For this, I use the CorelDRAW program in which I lay out all the parts for laser cutting. Here it is important to correctly calculate the dimensions of the box, the connection points, the holes for the tools, as well as the place where the box will bend. When the drawing was ready, I transferred the file to the laser machine and started cutting. For this project, I used plywood about 3.6 mm thick. With the power set correctly, the laser cuts through such plywood quite easily on the first pass. The laser moves according to coordinates and gradually cuts out all the parts. It is always pleasant to watch this process. Millimeter by millimeter, the finished elements of the future product appear. The most time-consuming part of this project was the place where the box will bend. I did not want to use any metal fittings or hinges. The idea was to make the box entirely out of wood, from a single sheet of plywood, so that both the hinges and the bend work due to the material itself. I wanted to make the simplest, most concise and neat construction without unnecessary parts. When the laser finished cutting the parts, at the very end the logo is engraved. This takes quite a long time. In the video, it looks fast, but in reality the engraving took about 40 minutes. But the result is worth it because the logo adds completeness to the product and looks more professional. After cutting, I check all the parts to see if everything is well cut, if all elements are in place, and after that I can proceed to assembly. Probably one of the most interesting parts begins when the finished thing starts to come together from separate parts. The lid turned out quite flexible in my opinion. The bend works well, bends smoothly without cracks and unpleasant sounds. Everything bends evenly and it looks like such a construction will last quite a long time. I made some connections very tight, maybe even a bit too tight, but with the help of a hammer and light tapping, the parts fit into place and are fixed very well. Actually, this is even good because the box holds very firmly even without glue. But in the future, I still plan to use glue to make the construction even stronger and more reliable. Gradually, part by part, the box begins to come together, and at some point, you realize that the idea, which at first was just a drawing on the computer, has already become a real thing you can hold in your hands. This is probably one of the most pleasant moments in any project. After assembly comes the most pleasant moment to arrange the tools in their places. This is exactly why it was all done. I have cutters of two sizes, longer and shorter. I thought this through in advance, so I placed the longer cutters on one side and the shorter ones on the other side. In the middle, I made a partition so that during transportation they would not touch each other and get damaged. And now the box is almost ready. But it seems like something is still missing here. Maybe you guess what exactly. Write in the comments what in your opinion still needs to be added or changed here. Overall, the box turned out compact, spacious, and quite convenient. Everything fit, the idea matched the result, and I am satisfied with what turned out. Now all the cutters have their place and the workshop has become a bit more organized. Write in the comments what you think about this project, what you would do differently or add. And if you like such workshop projects, subscribe to the channel. Ahead are many more boxes, organizers, and various workshop projects. Thank you for watching and see you in the next project.